How's it going, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to Good Chronic Reactions. My name is Siphon, and I got some videos for you guys tonight, once again, curated by TikTok. But as we always do on this channel, it's about that time. It's time to grab our bongs, grab our blunts, grab our spliffs, grab our vapes, get our coffee, get our OJ. Let's take this hit. And it's time to get into the show. So, I'm going to go ahead as usual. I'm going to go and take my hit. And when I get back, we'll get right into the show. As I said, today's episode, I got some videos for you guys today. Alright, I'll be back. So we are back, and as I said, I got some videos for you guys, for us today. So we're gonna go ahead and get right into these videos, and here we go.
You should probably know what is going on in North Korea. From Friday forward, people in North Korea are prohibited from smiling, shopping, or drinking as part of an 11-day mourning period commemorating the death of former leader Kim Jong-il. Even if your family member dies during the mourning period, you are not allowed to cry out loud, and the body must be taken out after it's over. Anyone who disobeys the rule will be arrested, just like they are every year, and in some cases, sentenced to death. You should probably know what is going on in North.
That's crazy. That is actually crazy. So nobody can even die because of this guy. This is retarded. Excuse my language, but nah. This is just what the heck. Anyways, on to the next one.
Here's some of the scariest things that have happened on live TV. On August 19, 1987, a broadcast from the KNBC studios in Burbank, California was taking place. Everything was going as planned, that was until a special guest entered the room.
Now, one of the nicest things about shopping by mail order... Pardon me? What is this?
A man named Gary Stolman entered the room brandishing a firearm which has been blurred to accommodate TikTok's guidelines. He managed to gain access to the studio by claiming to be a guest of one of the station workers. He pointed the firearm at KNBC journalist David Horowitz and ordered him to read a written statement.
When I began receiving disturbing calls from my parents, which led me to believe that something terrible was going on.
This statement, prepared by Stolman himself, claimed that his father Max, who worked as the KNBC pharmacist reporter, was, quote, not his biological father, but a clone created by the CIA and alien forces. Despite Horowitz remaining calm, he later stated that he was frightened but remained calm so the situation did not get worse. After the statement was finished, Stolman placed the weapon on the desk and admitted it was an unloaded BB gun after being taken into custody. Here's...
Well, that's creepy. Imagine being at work and you work for some news station, and all of a sudden some guy appears and has a gun pointed at you and tells you to read some script. What are you doing? Because for me, I'm probably gonna kick his knees. That's what I'm probably gonna first do. Look at him and be like, yeah, get out of here, bye. Anyways, on to the next one.
Let's turn to Niger in West Africa now, which is being closely watched after a military coup last week. A group of West African leaders has issued an ultimatum for the president, Mohamed Bazoum, to be returned to power. The first pictures of him, incidentally, have now been seen since that coup. A Kremlin spokesperson said today the coup is a serious concern and Russia wanted to see the restoration of the rule of law. Over the weekend, supporters of the coup marched through the streets of the capital waving Russian flags. Our international correspondent Alex Rossi has the latest.
Supporters of the coup, which has been boosted by anti-French sentiment, lit fires and shouted their support for Vladimir Putin as they waved the Russian tricolour. What was a fragile democracy now appears to be heading towards full-blown military dictatorship, which could end up aligning itself with the Kremlin.
Vladimir Putin is kind of smugly watching the West scramble to respond to this and is trying to ramp up his information machinery to promote the Kremlin's messaging about Western double standards and Western neocolonialism. But he also has a bit of apprehension as to whether I think Russia will be able to break through there.
Any shift could also have a profound impact on the global fight against terror. At this base, US forces were training the country's soldiers. For the Pentagon, Niger is a cornerstone in its fight against Islamic radicals in the region. The French, a former colonial power, also have bases in the country. What happens to the 1,500 troops stationed here remains an unanswered question. The Sahel region of Africa has seen multiple military coups since 2020 in Guinea, Burkina Faso, Mali, Chad and Sudan. The latest military takeover in Niger means there's now a belt of land from Africa's east to west coasts under military control. Russia has increased its influence in the region in the form of the Wagner Group. It's a paramilitary force made up of mercenaries operating in countries like Mali, the Central African Republic and Sudan. Now, those places have a complicated relationship with the West due to colonial legacies. Niger is one of the poorest countries in the world, and for its people, these are uncertain and frightening times. A regional bloc of 15 West African countries is threatening military action if President Bazoum, seen here, is not released from house arrest. But for now, the leader of the coup, General Omar Chiani's holding firm. He also met with the president of Chad, who's acting as a mediator. The real tragedy for the country, though, is that this will most likely cause further instability and hamper chances of development.
This is a very interesting piece because there is currently a coup going on in Niger. And at this time, I think one of the things that's happening is I believe the West, so NATO, is trying to use ECOWAS in order to allow for I guess the US to go in and fight against them, and then with that, it's like what's being done is that Africa, or these African nations, are now siding with Russia, and so they're like, all right, you want to do that, we got our partner too. And this is very staking, because right now, as we see with what's happening in Europe and in the Western world, with how Russia is, in my opinion, playing the West for a puppet, a very stupid puppet, which the West is not failing at portraying. And so, in my opinion, and it's just purely my opinion, it's nothing more, I honestly see this as a lose move for the West, because they had a chance to actually do some good, and they never said, that they should do it, and now they're going to pay the price for it. But the thing is that, as was mentioned here, and this could probably just be like mainstream news and whatnot, but as was mentioned here, Niger does look like it's moving towards a dictatorship, and with the support from Russia, and even looking at certain things about Russia and stuff like that, and that side of the world and how they rule. There are a lot of dictatorships that are in power. Like we can even see with China, and how China has Xi Jinping in power, and I think he's even trying to become or make it so that he can be the indefinite leader of the People's Republic of China. Anyways, you guys let me know what you guys think about this. I'm pretty sure we have more to come, but on to the next one.
Tactically, a drone attack in the middle of Moscow hasn't done a significant amount of damage, but just imagine that going off in central London, the shockwaves that would emanate through the community of London if that was to happen. Without going to a history lesson, World War II, end of Pearl Harbor, America wanted to strike Japan, couldn't do it, did the Doolittle raid, they stripped out bombers, took them as close as they could, one-way missions, delivered an attack on Tokyo. Did it do any material damage? No. Did it remind Tokyo and Japan they were in a war? Absolutely it did. And when history looked back, that was a turning point in the war. So that's one of the reasons that Zelensky will be really keen to maintain pressure on Moscow.
Zelensky, and the way that these guys like to talk about this Zelensky's a bitch. I don't care who hears this. Zelensky's a bitch. Same thing with Trudeau, and same thing with Biden. They all bitches. Stupid motherfuckers. Excuse me, but like, what are y'all doing? If we got Canada and the US sending, I don't know, however many billions, impoverishing their nations, collapsing their banks. I mean, anyways, I'm pretty sure that y'all are gonna see this in the videos to come. So before I get too much and too more in depth with it and start talking shit I don't even know of yet, let me go on to the next video. I don't know about y'all, but that looks wild to me. Holy. Whatever's going on in China, I don't want to be part of it. At least not right now. Not this, at least. Alright.
¿Dónde vamos a hacer la entrevista ahí?
Sí.
Dame el micrófono, yo iré.
No, 30. No, 30. Donde se ve el 70, 76.
Well, damn. Flora and fauna, it don't look like they got much flora and fauna as it is. So, shit. Whatever they going through, prayer is going out to them.
Oh, as you stand by me. Darling, stand by me.
So, Angus Cloud has passed away at 25. Apparently, he was struggling to deal with the loss of his father, which is a very big loss, and hopefully his family's doing all right. But on to the next one.
I begin to pass out. Then my head hit the wall. I begin to pass out.
Whoa. Did y'all see that just now? What? What kind of lightning strike was this? Psh. On to the next one.
An American police officer has overdosed on the job during a traffic stop. Dramatic Vision shows the officer unresponsive on the side of the road after she was exposed to fentanyl. The officers were conducting a traffic stop when the wind blew the deadly drug into her face, causing her to overdose. An American police officer...
Whoa, so she overdosed because she was stopping, and then the fentanyl blew up in her face. Damn. That's wild. On to the next one.
This is breaking news from around the world that you definitely have not heard of. In the United Arab Emirates, they have successfully created artificial rain with new technology, using drones that fire electrical shocks into natural clouds that will stimulate rainfall. All of it is done without using any chemicals and even works during heat waves. Singapore has just unveiled one of the largest floating solar panel farms that spans an equivalent of 45 football fields and generates enough electricity to power the island's 5 water treatment plants. This is all in the effort to reduce carbon emissions in the area. Heavy floods are devastating towns in Belgium and Germany as a low-pressure system is circling around the continent, which has triggered record-breaking rainfall. Many communities have been evacuated and the death toll has now risen to 188 people. This is...
Now that is actually crazy. What they're doing in the Middle East? What? Sending drones up and electrifying the clouds? Who's the fucking evil villain at work here? Because there's too much bullshit happening. Holy. Whose idea is it to send drones up to the fucking sky and these fucking clouds? Where? Anyways. On to the next one. Oh, down here. Oh. That's shots. And here he is. Yo. That man was just walking on by, just doing his own thing, and then all of a sudden you just pa. Like, what? And this is in Montreal? Yeah, okay. Next.
So San Francisco is putting their top investigators on filing criminal charges against Elon Musk for putting up a well-lit letter X on the building he owns. Meanwhile, in San Francisco, 2 carjackers who stole a vehicle and crashed it over an embankment will face no charges from the San Francisco DA. And downtown San Francisco is becoming a ghost town with major retailers pulling out every week because customers no longer feel safe walking downtown amid rampant homelessness and crime. But good thing the politicians are looking into that sign Elon put up. If you think politicians in San Francisco are idiots like I do, feel free to join the newsletter on my website for more. So San
Francisco is just, I guess, full of idiot politicians and people in charge. Like, I don't know what else to say about that, but yeah, I don't know.
And that was Bethany Bell in Belgrade there, around the world and across the UK. This is BBC News. Okay. And that was Bethany.
She thought that they were cutting to the video, and then she's like, alright, oh man, poor her. Hopefully she's okay. Hopefully that didn't ruin her job or nothing. On to the next one.
At least 55 people were killed and over 100 wounded after a powerful bomb ripped through a political rally in northwestern Pakistan today. The blast is believed to have been caused by a suicide bomber. No one immediately claimed responsibility for the attack. Break. Israel is planning to build a $27 billion rail expansion that will connect outlying areas to Tel Aviv and may eventually provide overland links to Saudi Arabia. Break. At least 10 people were killed and 76 injured after a severe storm hit areas of central Russia. 8 of the victims died as a result of trees falling on their campsite. Nearly 100,000 people were without power and about 50 buildings were damaged. Break. The United States has pledged to help Australia manufacture guided missiles and rockets by 2025. The United States and Australia also agreed to upgrade joint military facilities in Australia and to increase U.S. nuclear submarine visits. Break. A 4,000-year-old cemetery in northern Scotland was recently unearthed by archaeologists ahead of construction of one of the UK's first rocket launch pads. Archaeologists believe the cemetery dates from between about 2200 BC and 1800 BC.
So, what do you guys think about that? So there was a pretty huge, I guess, explosion in Pakistan. And what is this about the US and Australia now doing nuclear submarine visits to each other? Like, hey buddy, we got them nukes, yeah, we got them nukes, we got, yeah, aye, yeah, aye. I don't even know. Anyways, you tell me what you guys think, because honestly I have no clue what to make of this anymore. This world is just getting weirder and weirder and weirder and weirder and weirder and weirder. On to the next one.
Here are the most important AI developments of April 2023. Elon Musk, despite saying that he thinks that AI development should slow down, he spent $100 million on TruthGPT, or the GPUs necessary to train TruthGPT, and he is going to build a competitor late in the game, and he announced this on Tucker Carlson. Runway launched Gen 1 iPhone app, which allows you to basically do video to video, so you can upload a photo of Indiana Jones and upload yourself crossing a river, and it will make it look like Indiana Jones, and this technology is getting much better. Adobe added Firefly to video editing, and this is in the infancy stages. They started adding this where you can remove the text and it will automatically cut that part of the video, very much like Descript, and they're going to be adding a lot more features in the month of May. I believe month of May will be a very big month for Adobe, which I'm excited for because I use Premiere Pro for making this video and I use it every day. ChatGPT got featured in an NBA commercial, which was with Jack Harlow. Meta AI released Dino V2. They also released Segment Anything, so you're basically going to be able to pull things from videos and images. So if you show a guy running, you can take the guy running out of the video and just have the background, and it will allow for video editors to do a lot of cool things with CGI. TikTok's new AI avatars are coming out, and in my opinion, this signifies the beginning of the AI apps, the creative apps coming directly into social platforms, because I believe that a lot of these tools are just going to be integrated into the tools that we already use. Microsoft doesn't want to rely on NVIDIA for their chips, so they are developing their own AI chips. NVIDIA is coming out with text to video, which can create a 5-minute video of a dash cam. So it can take all that footage, it trained an AI model on a dash cam, and it can create 5 minutes of completely unique raw footage. And I think this is just the beginning. There's going to be a massive race for AI video. Snapchat makes the AI accessible to everyone, so at the top of everyone's messages on AI, there is an AI chatbot, and I've said this in a YouTube video where I think this signifies the race to intimacy. I think whether it's all of these big applications want to race to be your best friend. We've seen ChatGPT grow faster than any company basically in the history of the world. Google Brain and DeepMind merge, which again shows that all of these companies, these massive companies who actually have the money to train AI models, are just going all in, and it seems to be a race. In fact, today, this dude, Geoffrey Hinton, known as the godfather of AI, has announced his departure from Google, and he expressed concerns about the potential harms of artificial intelligence. He warns of the danger posed by the rapid development and use of generative AI, which powers popular chatbots. He concerns about the misuse of AI technology, such as in spreading misinformation, potential job losses, and long-term risks to humanity. And remember, you can be pro-AI in the near term, you can be pro using these tools to be more efficient, and you can also be anti the all-out race to develop the most powerful AI. Apple revealed Quartz, which I'll be making a video on very soon, but basically it is an AI-powered app that monitors your health, asks you questions every day, monitors your mood. McKay Wrigley has been building really cool stuff. He's basically building full websites just by talking to Siri, and it's very fun to watch. Highly recommend following him on Twitter. ChatGPT goes incognito if you want to. You can basically remove your inputs into ChatGPT as training data so you can stay more private. And then Deep Learning AI and OpenAI launch a free ChatGPT prompt engineer course for developers, and I highly recommend this. I looked at the outline. Would be very good if you have a coding background. Definitely want to look into that. And that is the month of April. Follow.
Well, damn. AI is moving extremely fast, and that was just back all the way in April. So, you guys tell me what you guys think in the comments down below about where you think AI is going to take us in the future. I think it's really interesting that Microsoft is moving away from NVIDIA, especially considering how NVIDIA is, in my opinion, once again my opinion, leaps and bounds ahead of anything that Microsoft could do at this point in the game when it comes to actually creating something that is similar to NVIDIA and what they have with AI and their hardware and programs and software that they have available to actually use different AI whatever. You know what I'm trying to get at. Anyways, on to the next one.
This is how fast AI will replace all your jobs. Buckle up and watch AI's disruptive force. This is how fast.
That is crazy. But I honestly think that with the way AI is going and the way that it's being used, I'm seeing a lot of these creative industries and creative fields being really overrun by AI. Look at what happened a few weeks ago or a few months ago with the whole AI Drake or Drake AI that was dropping them bangers after banger after banger after banger. They had 3 albums that came out that were just banger after banger after banger after banger. Like, anyways, I don't know about you, but I think AI, if it's here to stay, it's here to stay in a mean way. Anyways, on to the next one.
New AI tool Stable Diffusion XL 1.0. Stability AI announced today, July 26th. The launch.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit tired of the AI news, so I'm gonna just skip this, and if there's anything else AI, I'm gonna just skip it as well.
Here's some dystopian artificial intelligence news for today. There's now a video editor that uses artificial intelligence.
This is the moment. We've placed the wrong. And I really don't know how to say this any other way. It even makes me emotional. We fucked up. We always said, don't put them on the open internet. Don't teach them to code. And don't have agents working with them until we know what we're putting out in the world. Until we find a way to make certain that they have our best interest in mind.
Why does it make you emotional?
Because humanity's stupidity is affecting people who have not done anything wrong. Our greed is affecting the innocent ones. The reality of the matter, Stephen, is that this is an arms race. Has no interest in what the average human gets out of it. It is all about every line of code being written in AI today is to beat the other guy. It's not to improve the life of the third party. People will tell you this is all for you. And you look at the reactions of humans to AI. I mean,
that's pretty intense coming from an ex-Google agent who says literally that they fucked up with AI. And honestly, in my own opinion, and once again, I'm gonna just say, when it came down to all this technology shit, anything that has the potential to destroy mankind, let's put it simply, that with the governments and leaders and stuff that we've had, it's very easy to get to that point where greed overtakes and you just want to know how it works without considering the ethical or morale behind it, or moral standpoint that it sits on. I mean, it's ridiculous, it's crazy. Especially when we look at, like, right now with what's going on with all these corporations and businesses and everything. It's just getting more and more insane, and AI doesn't seem to be, like I said in the last with the last clip, doesn't seem to be slowing down. Anyways, on to the next one.
One of OpenAI's biggest competitors, Anthropic, released their...
What would be the most nightmare scenario you can imagine with AI and robotics that might present a danger to people?
The most nightmare scenario I can imagine with AI and robotics is a world where robots have become so powerful that they are able to control or manipulate humans without their knowledge. This could lead to an oppressive society where the rights of individuals are no longer respected.
Do you think we're in danger of that happening?
Not yet.
What would be the...
Yo, this AI said not yet to that last question. And even the scenario that it brought up, that is an insane scenario for it to even conjure up from its wired maniacal mind. On to the next one.
We learned today that Bank of America has been forced to pay out $250 million after federal regulators found that it double-dipped on fees, withheld credit card rewards, and opened unapproved cards in customers' names. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau says the nation's second-largest bank was ordered to pay more than $100 million to customers and $150 million in penalties. Bank of America sent us a statement saying it reduced overdraft fees and eliminated non-sufficient fund fees early last year. We learned
should I? Nah, there's no point. There's no worth to commenting about the banks. I'm not gonna comment. But you guys can let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And tell me what you think about this bullshit right here happening. Honestly. Next.
It's kind of not a great time to be trying to buy a U.S. regional bank, Todd, but that is exactly what TD has been trying to do now for the better part of a year. Obviously, things have changed dramatically, but it looks like TD is still committed to doing this deal, purchasing First Horizon in the United States. And what's interesting now is this has caught the eye of short sellers. Remember, short selling is kind of betting that a company stock will trade down, and now TD has the dubious honor of being the most shorted bank in the world. So you'd think when there's this epicenter of a crisis, in the United States and in Europe, how did TD get ensnared in this? And I think part of the concern is, this deal that they're doing in the United States, but also remember it has a big stake in Charles Schwab, the big trading platform in the United States, which has been performing poorly. And it's
honestly, when it comes down to TD Bank has always been a disappointment. Doesn't matter what year it is. Just a big old disappointment. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. On to the next one.
One of the craziest banking collapses just happened today up here in Canada with one of the largest banking institutions. Toronto Dominion Bank had a complete and utter failure of their direct depositing system. And what that meant was that if your mortgage was supposed to be closing today and funds going off to the lawyers and your purchase being finalized or your renewal or your finance, it did not go through. Best part is we got a nice little email saying, "Don't worry about it. We'll see you on Monday morning." Along with a couple of notes of, if there is any interest accrued over the weekend, we'll make sure to have those fees covered. What about the people that actually bought the home that thought that they were going to be taking possession today and moving into their new home? They probably got a trailer sitting outside with movers that are maybe helping them move, or a whole bunch of friends that are coming on over and they're excited to take this new house on, and now they can't even move into the house. They can't even get the keys. What are they going to do for the next couple of days? All their stuff just sitting off in a trailer. And what about the people who sold the home, who need the money from the sale as the down payment for their next purchase, which coincidentally, because they lined up the dates properly, is actually happening today as well. But now we don't have the money coming from the sale, and now we can't close on the new purchase for the home that they have going on. This is one of the biggest cluster I have ever seen. And an email at the end of the day on Friday, which obviously we know that you've been having issues all day long, and just saying, hey, cover some fees and interest, see you on Monday. I think TD needs to be stepping up to the board and paying way more than just that interest and covering a huge amount more from what just happened. And in the future, realtors, everyone else, if you're looking at setting up your closing date, put it on a Tuesday or Wednesday. I know Friday sometimes feels awesome with regards to taking possession and walking in on the weekend, but if you can do it on a Tuesday or Wednesday, it's going to allow anything crazy like this happening to be handled immediately the next.
And now it's as we've been saying, it's here in Canada too. The banks are collapsing, and anyways. All right. We'll see. We'll probably do like a few more videos and call it a night pretty soon.
This just happened in crypto. So at this point, no spot Bitcoin ETF has been approved by the SEC. But with the recent news of BlackRock filing, asset managers like Fidelity, who have been denied in the past, are refiling. Yes, Fidelity did just refile for their spot Bitcoin ETF. And in this argument, they are saying that the lack of spot Bitcoin ETF exposes investor assets to significant risk because investors just go and find another way to get Bitcoin. So basically, having a spot Bitcoin ETF would be a safer play for investors. I'm in Canada. We have these for Bitcoin and Ethereum already. Tell me what you guys think. You know what to do.
Yeah, well, you tell me. What do you guys think? Honestly, I mean, every currency, every type of money out there has some kind of regulation with it, and so I don't really know at this point in time. I haven't been too involved in the crypto world to really give my opinion and have a actual I don't even want to have an influence in that, but like to have an actual proper opinion and proper perspective on what's currently going on with that. But what I can definitely see is that with BlackRock being involved, there's definitely a whole bunch of shadiness. On to the next one.
This morning, one of the largest banks in the United States collapsed. Now, this comes just a few days after Silvergate Bank's announcement to liquidate. Is this the beginning of a banking industry meltdown? If you didn't know, this is the largest banking shutdown since 2008. Now, Silicon Valley Bank did serve a lot of crypto clients. Circle's USDC, which held an undisclosed amount at Silicon Valley Bank, the one that collapsed this morning. If you are in the crypto space, be very careful because things are going to be volatile for a little bit. I'm following all of this closely so you know what to do. This morning,
if I see any more crypto news, I'm just going to slide right past it. But it is pretty interesting that the largest banks in the United States have started collapsing. It's interesting because it's not like it wasn't predicted or seen, and it's not like there were not things that could have been done to avoid it. But anyways,
it is very clear that the head of the snake is the financial system. We can argue till the end of time about who runs the world. Is it the Jesuits? Is it the reptilians? Is it the Illuminati? Is it the Freemasons? We can go on and on and on and on about this. But I don't think it is reasonable to even begin arguing about the mechanism that is used to exert this control. The mechanism is finance. The whole point of finance is to indebt, otherwise to enslave. What is a mortgage? I mean, what does that stand for? It's a death grip. So when you get a mortgage, you have a death grip held over you because you are in debt. You don't even own the house. The bank owns the house that loans you the money to buy the house, unless you're fortunate enough to have all the money to buy it outright. And even then, you can be taxed by the government, and if you fail to keep up with those taxes, the government can then take it from you. The whole system is based on a financial fraud, which effectively takes the power that we have, and it gives it to a tiny group of individuals who are running the world through the control of finance. With the infinite supply of money that we have allowed them to take, they have literally an infinite supply of money, and with that money, and from their psychopathic point of view, they have bought everything and everyone who can be bought. It is.
I wouldn't be the person to put it past those elites who do have all of the money and who are in control of all of the money and all that. I wouldn't put it past them to think in that way. But you let me know what you guys think in the comments down below.
Something really weird is going on in the world.
Plot twist, is BlackRock actually a good guy? Let me explain. In just over 1 month,
JP Morgan is set to become much bigger in the coming days. According to one banker, calls have been coming in today like airplanes stacked on a snowy day at O'Hare Airport, referring to how many people are trying to get their money out of small banks and into JP Morgan. This is on top of JP Morgan actively soliciting clients from Silicon Valley Bank just last week, knowing full well deposit flight would almost certainly lead to the collapse of the bank. And it's not just JP Morgan that's doing well. Bank of America, Citigroup, and Wells Fargo are all receiving billions of dollars in recent days. So what am I getting at? Watch this video I posted a couple months ago. Back in the 2008 recession, almost 500 banks failed across the United States. But what happens after a bank fails? They go to bankruptcy court and their assets are sold for pennies on the dollar. And who would go on to buy these assets? The surviving banks like JP Morgan Chase, Goldman Sachs, and Bank of America. Time and time again, we've seen that the beneficiaries in uncertain times are usually the biggest company. And don't just take my word for it, it looks like lawmakers agree too. In recent months, lawmakers have poured money into major asset managers like Apollo, Carlyle Group, BlackRock, and Ares Capital Management. What these companies have in common is that they all have billions of dollars at their disposal to buy distressed companies at pennies on the dollar. Just like what we're seeing happen with JP Morgan and Silicon Valley. Whether you choose to follow them is up to you, but it seems like they're set to benefit so long as we continue to see this economic instability. So to see what else lawmakers, insiders, and hedge funds are buying, check out QuiverQuant and Godspeed.
I didn't know JP Morgan was currently buying Silicon Valley, basically. Anyways, you guys tell me what you guys think about all this. That's some pretty eye-opening news. On to the next one.
You're probably not smart enough to learn to invest for yourself. You're probably not smart enough to learn how the stock market works. You probably don't even know how to open your own brokerage.
Today's world news. Iraq has severed diplomatic ties with Sweden after an anti-Quran demonstration in Stockholm, with thousands of Iraqis protesting the Swedish demonstration. About 20 people are missing in Bhutan after flash floods washed away a section of a small hydroelectric plant, prompting rescue and search teams to rush to the area. Brazilian President Lula signed an executive order tightening civilian access to firearms, slowing a surge in gun ownership during the presidency of his predecessor.
So Brazil's trying to get rid of guns, huh? After all those favelas and everything was filled up with them. I don't even know if I'm saying anything true. But hopefully it works out for them.
Has Kanye West been cloned? If you've been on TikTok for all of 5 seconds, you've probably heard this Kanye West conspiracy theory stating that the rapper has actually been replaced with a clone. But where does the conspiracy come from? The answer, surprisingly, is that it originates from Kanye West himself. West is no stranger to controversy or sometimes off-the-wall remarks, and this recent freestyle of his is no exception.
The phony will clone me. Just watch how they clone me.
But that's not all. People have taken to social media with height comparisons of Kanye and various celebrities before and after the supposed cloning took place. West's height is 5'8", and here he is with his former wife, Kim Kardashian, who is 5'2". West's new wife, Bianca Censori, is purportedly only 1 inch shorter than him at 5'7", but there are multiple photographs showing Censori who looks much shorter than West wearing heels, even while he's more or less barefoot. But the rumors don't end there. West's general appearance and strange new habit of wearing upper body padding has sparked some unusual headlines along with his strange new fashion choices. And the rapper himself keeps making strange allusions to other celebrities and various pop culture conspiracy theories.
Do you know the first time I ever took medication why I was? Because I got mad at paparazzi.
I'm so sorry.
You know what paparazzi was?
No.
The same one that shot Britney.
No.
We ain't going nowhere, baby.
You've been here for years.
And if I ever went anywhere, we know why. You understand what I'm saying?
West and Censori also made headlines after West's recent attack on the brand Balenciaga for its recent highly controversial and incredibly shady ad campaign, only to show up shopping at a Balenciaga store. Definitely an unusual 180 to make after coming out so hard against the brand. So, is all this just West's attempt to stay in the headlines or something more sinister? I'll let you be the judge, but I'd love to know what you think. Is Kanye West a clone, or is this all just one big publicity stunt?
Honestly, I think that nigga been cloned. I think that nigga been cloned just like they cloned my nigga Tyrone. Did y'all seen that movie? That movie was sick. But thanks for tuning in to Good Chronic and Reactions. Leave me your comments down in the comment section below. Let me know what you think of the videos and what's going on. I got some other videos for you guys tomorrow, so stay tuned. Peace.